going. Right, here we go. Buttons are pressed, Mrs. Saunders.
Buttons are pressed on episode 62 of Ladies Wot Pod. Hello, good evening and welcome everybody. Well, it's barely evening. It's a lovely afternoon here in South Northants. It's 20 to 5 on a Monday and it's not even looking dark at the moment, and it's stopped raining and it's all very glorious. You feel that spring is on its way, thank goodness, at last. Right, quick introduction for those of you recently joined. My name is Lis Saunders. As I said, live in South Northants, chairman of the Saints Supporters Club, chief Halo, general all-round award giver-outer to add to my CV now, and rugby Norse, and you are my fellow podder.
Claire Jones, owner of several red hats, one of which is usually found on my head, along with a camera stuck to my face. The camera's all clean this week. Gave them a good tidy up. Yes, and I'm taker of photos of awards and marshalling of 50 billion photographers, as we did on Friday.
Yes. There was a lot of marshalling went on.
There was a lot of marshalling went on. The lovely Pete Nuttall was wonderful as ever.
Yes.
And it's episode 62. So
it is.
We were saying we should start with the magnificent win on Friday night.
I'd definitely start with Lightning, who... right. Guess what had to come out? Well, it didn't, but should have done. Because, I mean... Oh, look, it's gone off. It's gone off. Stop. It was... Well, they were mirroring the Saintsmen side by nearly snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Having trundled out to a pretty good lead, they then let trail finders, not Ealing trail finders, just trail finders, apparently, back into the game. And then with not long to go, trail finders took the lead. And it was all very, this is annoying. It's really, really annoying. And then we got down into their end and we had a penalty. And we didn't take the 3 points for some mysterious reason. Well, because Daisy, was it, who made the decision of being laid out and didn't know what was happening and went, go for the line out. So we did go for the line out, lost the line out, and it went back up and back and forth. And then we were on the attack again. And suddenly there was a move that even the coach didn't see coming. I wondered what on earth was going on. And fortunately, the girls knew what was going on. And Helena Rowland, with a beautiful striking of the ball, put over a drop goal that sealed the victory and time for Loughborough Lightning. It was amazing end to an amazing season, really. They've had ups and downs. So it was really good that they were able to seal that win, I think. So fantastic night. Really good crowd. Over 1,000 people there, which is going some for a Friday night. And some superb rugby. So well done, the girls. What was the final score? I was so excited. 35-34 or something, wasn't it? Somewhere in those.
Something
like that.
34-32, something. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was
great game, though.
It was a great game. There's some outstanding performances across the board. I thought the pack were brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, really good carrying. Really good, line-outs in women's rugby do seem to be a challenge. It's consistently the thing but we scrambled enough ball to put in some fantastic attacks. I think the scrum was absolutely on point. I think Nathan Smith would have been really happy with that. Our own favourite, Catherine Tredder, didn't let us down. Scored a lovely try.
Not at all. Yeah.
Scored a magnificent try. And then, in the same way, we love to see it from Finn and the men, Helena just decided to do some stuff that you wouldn't expect. Not only was the drop goal not in anybody's plans, but absolutely the right thing to do. She broke to. She and Carmela Morrell, who I thought had an outstanding game at 12, broke to score. And then Fran Goldthorpe, who I noticed had the very formal Francesca Goldthorpe on the team sheet, very formal, made a fantastic break across midfield, which Emily Scarratt followed up to score again. So they were scoring from all angles. It was pacey rugby. It was really, really good fun to watch. Lily Eves Campion, bless her heart, knows exactly where the red hat is. Straight at me. Well done. Lovely try. Again, beautifully worked by the team. And it was just all good. But credit to Trailfinders, these two teams seem to produce some fantastic rugby. They do I don't know whether they like playing each other, but they produce some fantastic games.
Don't know. There are some of the shenanigans that were going on.
It's like, oh, hello, we're not having a good time. But and the lady behind me. So I've done it again. Lovely picture from Daisy. Oh
yes,
signed by Daisy from Bobby, organised by Bobby Bridge, the wonderful Bobby Bridge. Thank you for that. That was lovely. So that's another one on the treasure shelf. She had a good game. I think it was Helena who was down for the last decision rather than Daisy.
I don't know who it was. I don't know whoever it was.
And Daisy made the call because Helena was receiving treatment. And by the time Helena got up, it was like, what? Yeah. You could see it was like, really? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it was all a bit all a bit
chaotic. But our England fly half. I think she is really. Oh, have you heard what they've started calling the men's team? We'll talk about the men's team. So we have the Red Roses, don't we?
Yes.
The men's team are being called the Broses.
Roses?
Yeah, I'm not sure it works.
No.
Mind you, if you walk on the basis of Freemo and Finn, it does really.
Well, yeah. I think it's best not to work on any basis of Freemo and Finn, to be honest.
I thought the crowd were brilliant. And there was obviously a good contingent that come up from London to support Trailfinders. So it made for a really, really. I'm surprised it was 1,000. I would have had it as more than that.
I think they said they'd sold something like 1,200 tickets before the game, so it could well have been more. Yeah, and a lot of those were sold in the last 24 hours. So whether people were holding out to see what the weather was, because it was actually quite clement on Friday night.
It was.
So I think,
and there were a lot of children, despite the late hour, because it was half term and not a school night. I think a lot of parents elected to bring kids along, which was great to see. I don't know how long how they got on getting to the end of the game, but. And some of them were being given sort of lighty things at the turnstile.
Yes, I missed getting a lighty thing. There were like pink and purple.
And they look really cool. They
look really good.
Yeah. They look really cool. So yes, and I think Lightning played. They deserve the win. They deserve sixth place. I understand that. They wanted to get above Ealing. That Trailfinders women. That was the aim.
Right.
The big aim. And yeah. So you had to be
official.
You had to be official, didn't you? Yeah.
Little jobette at the end. Yes, I had to present the player of the season because, ladies and gentlemen, bizarrely, even though it's only towards the end of February, it was the end of Lightning season on Friday. It's just a bit weird, but there you go. It's the way it is. So they had their awards on a Friday night in the cold. It's all a bit rapid, but so they had one Player of the Season award sponsored by Northampton Saints Supporters Club. So which I, as chairman, had to do a grown-up thing and present somebody with an award. Unfortunately, I was a bit worried. I did say to Dr. T, because of course we sit next to each other in the crowd, I hope it's not one of the tall ones, because that's going to make the photograph look ridiculous. I hope Skaz hasn't got it, because I'm just going to look like a gnome. But fortunately, it was Daisy, who's like a normal-sized human, so that was all right.
I don't think.
But I was very worried.
Absolutely a normal-sized human, but I bet she hits harder than you.
Oh, I bet she does. I bet she does. A lot harder. Yes. I mean, she's tall. She's taller than me. I mean, let's face it, there isn't anybody on that picture who isn't taller than me. But it was nice. I was really pleased that Daisy got it, and she was as self-effacing as ever. It's only because people know me. It's because I was on the Saint show.
I went, no. Well, yes, and enjoy it, but no. That woman has played more minutes than any other player in the PWR.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and she represents
and never takes
so well.
And never takes a backward step.
Never takes a backward step. Yeah, just gets her head down and puts it in places that you and I would go, oh, hello, not doing that. Absolutely. No, she's been learning her trade as captain this season. I mean, she said herself that she's had to take a lot on board. And I think having that co-captaincy has worked out really well for her. Although for a big chunk of the season, Rachel was off in South Africa and wherever, so she was carrying the load. So, and she has, ladies and gentlemen, as she explained on the Lightning Show, as Graham called it last week, a full-time job. So she is one of those old school amateur. Yes, she gets paid, but not enough to live on. Semi-pro players.
So she's playing rugby alongside of working.
Yeah, she's earned that crust. So congratulations to Daisy, lovely lady.
She's smashing, absolutely smashing.
She loves the pod. There you go.
There we go. That's really nice. So nice. I think another quick shout out to, while we're talking about lovely people, Stu Vincent has just finished his first season doing Lightning, and actually, poor Stu. When they were doing something at half time with girls trying to catch balls, and one of them landed on his head, broke his glass. Is that you? Broke his glasses and everything.
I don't know why. Anyway, so there's.
So that was a bit ignorant, but he valiantly carried on trying to take photographs of these girls who were doing the half-time thing and trying to fix the lens back in his glasses. So well done, Stu.
And then when he got down our end, because we were going down the hill in the second half, he tried to stand, and I was saying, Stu, no, because you end up with the top of the players' heads. If you think about how Catherine Tredder scores tries, you just get lots. Mind you, a lot of them have ribbons in their hair. Bobby,
they do have very, very nice ribbons.
Well,
in their
there
hair
was some for some sort of old Northamptonshire thing going on. So they had specific ribbons in their hair. Oh, yeah. So you'd have been fine. One of them
looked to have a sparkly sort of a ribbon in her hair.
Yeah. If I just well. Here we go. Is it this one? Here we go. No, that's not it.
See, this is the sort of conversation you just don't get with the men's team. I mean,
no, you don't,
unless you count James Lowe taking his hair out of the ridiculous man bun, and when it was out of the ridiculous, it was even more ridiculous than he looks in the ridiculous man bun. If that's possible.
Yes, I mean,
just
James,
let it cut.
Let's not go.
Get it cut.
Let's not talk about James Lowe. It just upsets me, you know.
I did have to. This is whilst you look at that. As an aside, they were talking about the great Irish rugby players of this team, and it was Gibson Park, James Lowe, and the Alfie. Right, what do all these three have in common? Not actually Irish, I would suggest.
So here we go. Here is. I think it's Abby. Oh, it's Abby who's wearing it. So if I show.
This is on the hoof. We'd not planned this, ladies and gentlemen.
So
yes, that's the one
here.
Yes.
Hold on. Here.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Miss Beep. So yes, so they're a particular combination of colours that's old Northamptonshire.
Oh, okay.
As I was saying to Stu, I was saying, get down, because he's always asking for tips, as you heard.
Yes.
And so he then confessed that his knee was a bit dodgy. So I said, well, I have a dodgy Achilles. I can give you a tip there. Spread the Toblerone bits out. And he went, oh, yes. So there you go. But I hope he wasn't sitting thinking obliged, right? But Stu, he came to say hello. You were there when he came to say hello and thank you before the game.
I thought we ought to give him a mensch because
Stu and his wife are avid listeners. They are avid listeners to the pod. Only recent, so apparently Stu says they're working backwards through the catalogue, so they've got plenty to listen to.
Oh, they've got plenty. They've got some good ones to go at then.
Yeah, they've got some good ones for a rainy day to go at. But Stu has just finished his first season. He came over to say thank you. He'd been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and you get some rather dodgy help on YouTube videos. There is one guy in particular who's actually very good, who shoots football, a guy called Mark Curtin, but he shoots Canon, and he works quite differently to me. So I basically, Stu said, what do you do? So I told him in camera geek speak, and he went, oh, and he's been...
Strikes me that bloke needs to pull himself together. Mark Curtin, pull himself together. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can have that one, Matt Litchfield.
I laughed. Why did I laugh? That's so bad. Yes. But yes, Stu came to say thank you, and he's a charming man, and he ended up in the photograph at the end, the group photograph at the end, as did Maeve Blenko. They also wanted me to be in the photograph, and I pointed out to them, how do we take the photo? It's the world's longest arm selfie. That's not going to happen. But it was great to have the group. And at last, Bobby Bridge had his photo taken. He's actually in the group photo. So well done, Bobby. Well done to everybody. But I thought... So we did say goodbye to a couple of players, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. One huge presence is saying goodbye.
Yeah, well, one huge person, human being in Hallie Tofu, who's one of the tallest flankers I think I've ever seen.
Yes,
American.
She was one of the ones I was thinking, I hope she hasn't won it.
And then, of course...
You have
to get a box.
Now I'm just worried for the end of season awards now. They're going to award it to Tom Lockett, aren't they? That's just going to be mad.
Well, he has had a bit of a season. What we want to think.
He has had a bit of a season. That's just. I'm going to have to stand on a step. Anyway, that's future problems. So yes, so
the person we're saying goodbye to is from Lightning is
Rachel Malcolm.
Malcolm,
yeah. Doctor
Rachel Malcolm, yes. #006. Which she explained on the Good, the Scaz and the Rugby, that little pod that we occasionally watch, wasn't that she wears 6 on her shirt, it was that she was the 6th name on the list. So it's just a coincidence that it ended up, because it was in alphabetical order. So it was just a coincidence she ended up as number 6.
Hang
but
on.
The tea arrived.
Tea's brewing.
Tea's brewing.
He's going to take the dog for a walk. We have a dog at the moment. We have a visiting dog.
How's he getting on? Is he all right?
He's fine. He's having a lovely time. I keep sending photographs to his family who are on holiday in Tenerife, and he's having a ball. So anyway, yes. So Rachel Malcolm, she's a lovely, super smashing lady. She gives her heart and soul to everything, doesn't she, Claire? And this is illustrated by what happened at the Bristol game, I feel. Never in the field of human conflict.
Now, if you remember, Lewis Dean, our favourite videographer at the club, does little videos in the changing room. And I'm so sad that Lewis did not witness this, because if you recall, right at the start of one of the Netflix things where the Saints were involved, we had Lewis with every expletive under the sun in the game against a semi-final against Saracens. And if everyone recalls, Lightning won that game at Bristol. Bristol are one of the top 4 and have qualified for the playoffs. So it was a huge scalp. Anyway, Nathan Smith apparently said to Rachel, give it some welly at half-time for the team talk, will you? So apparently, Rachel gives a good team talk and proceeded to give it some welly, And she described it that there were players bouncing off the walls as they went out for the second half. Only as she recovered herself, she thought, ooh, I think I'm going to pass out. Now, I've heard of people nearly passing out as a result of being in a scrum, because the forces. But I've never heard of a player giving it so much welly that they end up nearly passing out. Brilliant. Rachel is a wonderful woman, really, really wonderful woman. She has been so kind to me, because my understanding, obviously I understand the sport of rugby, but I didn't, when I first started taking photographs of Lightning, I really didn't understand the setup at all. And she's been incredibly helpful to me. And so I've really enjoyed working with her. And it'll be very strange. She very kindly put up a post about myself and Stu on Instagram, saying that she was going to miss us both, which was lovely of her. And I'm just.
Oh, we wish her well in whatever she's going to do, and I'm sure whatever she's going to do. No, we don't know. And whatever she's going to do, she will do so well. I think, if she takes up knitting, it's going to be the best knitting in the world.
Yes.
Probably won't make her faint, though. But
well, it depends how vigorous she is with those needles.
Yeah,
she does have a Six Nations on her hand, and she's got quite a young squad to, build a relationship with, and they're going to set targets. The other thing that came out from a recent that pod again was that for the first time Scotland are going to set themselves some targets, because they're beginning now to get to a place that says, no, we want to keep winning. I saw at the Hive Scotland beat Italy, and Rachel just burst into tears. She was so overcome with emotions, because it was the first time in 12 games that Scotland had won. Talk about stickability. So she we don't know where she's going next, but wherever she goes, we wish her well. Daisy, I am sure, will continue to be a fabulous captain. We're very lucky to have somebody as talented as Daisy, having had somebody as talented as Rachel. And it was lovely that it was Emily Scarrett who presented her shirt to her.
Yeah.
The end. Shall I show the?
You've got one.
Here we go. And the lovely Pete Nuttall, Master of Ceremonies. Here we go.
Yeah, he was working hard on Friday.
Yes, he was. I did like the fact that the hole marked the spot. There wasn't anything more scientific than that. There we go. The two of them embracing. It was lovely to see. You think?
Can I shout out? I was going to say just another quick shout out to Bernie, who was on top form on Friday night.
Yes, and probably was a bit cross with me because I ignored Bernie, but there were lots of photographers taking photographs of Bernie.
Bernie was doing a lot to be photographed about. He was dancing.
There was lots of dancing going on. Lots and lots of dancing going on. So
top energy from that Bernie.
Top energy. Now, we are going to, for this game, award a ladies' Wot Pod Player of the Match and a Sgt Wilson award for this game.
Yep, we are.
So, who's our Player of the Match then, Mrs Saunders?
Well, Oh, well, the official one was Helena, wasn't
Oh,
it?
was the one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was. So was she going to be yours because she won the official one? So
I didn't know
under
she
the
won the
rules of
official one. She
late,
would have been mine, yes, because she just ran
yes,
the game like.
she was superb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So under the rules of LWP, we go no, not the official one.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because she would have been mine as well. Having said that, well, I was going to say the pack was so good. Well, they were,
Can I make a suggestion there about the centres?
that I was just about to say, but then again, and Fran at the back was at 15.
Fran at the back.
Was
So a lot of the
hard
tries were made by breaks by. I can't believe they actually use her full name. Given that sportsmen and women always shorten their names. Carmela Morrill at 12.
Yeah,
I thought she had an outstanding game.
she did. She did. Yes, she did. She did. And well, let's give it to her. To be honest, I'm going to say, yeah,
a new
she
young.
always looked dangerous.
Well done, her.
Yeah,
brilliant. Well done.
yeah.
Now the Sgt Wilson Award.
Well, yes, we must give special mention to somebody who has won it a couple of times in the past. Actually, made a brave attempt, I think, to get it from his position at England A in Bristol. Curtis Langdon was
he did have a go.
Politely.
He did have a go. Yeah. He did have a go. But to me, there's only one winner.
Yeah, and that is
Scotty. Yes. Rachel Malcolm, who had to be. I thought her and the ref were getting on famously. I wouldn't be surprised if they,
When you say that, I thought we'd fallen foul of the ref at one point towards the.
I think everybody had
of...
fallen foul of the referee at one point. She was like a spinning top. She was just in a grump about everything. And then once she calmed down again, she was very nice, actually. She helped me before the game. Really lovely lady. But she was not a happy camper with either side.
She was a bit fed up at one point, but anyway.
She was a bit fed up and rightly, I can't remember. I'm going to find out her name because she was, I thought, excellent overall. And, of course, unlike the men's team sheet, she's not named. Well, that was good. Anyway, apologies to the ref. Holly, I think, was her first name, but I could be wrong. That's going to annoy me now. Anyway, yes, but unlike that, Ms. Malcolm, I think, absolutely is my nominee for Sgt Wilson Award of the Week.
Good-o.
Good-o, she says.
So I've just had the link for the music and movement class. I've just something pinged in my ears. So, excellent. Yeah, I thought it was a great game on Friday, and I can't wait till the season starts again. Really, we've got the World Cup to come, of course, of which there are several games down the Gardens. So excellent.
The Six Nations.
Oh, right. Is that first? See, I'm still learning about how the women's game is structured.
Don't worry.
As well.
Several of the players confessed they didn't know when it was.
Oh, good. How good. What's Six Nations? What? I don't know. What?
It starts in mid to late March and finishes in April. And then they're off doing what they're doing. Yes.
So, just whilst we're still on the women's game, I think now is the time we might as well chuck it in. The Women's World Cup and the commentary team for the television of the Women's World Cup. We are not happy, are we, Mrs. J? Not happy at all, because one of our favourite commentators, who has been an absolute advocate of the women's game since time immemorial, is not going to be commentating on the Women's World Cup. Poor old Nick Heath, really. I'm really upset on his behalf and a bit cross. Well, very cross, actually.
They're just bonkers. I mean, supports the league in England. He is the lead voice of the PWR. Is very supportive of everything in the women's game. Just baffling. Just utterly baffling. He found out, basically, he put a post on social media because he found out from the production company last autumn that he wouldn't be part of the team. And unsurprisingly, is a bit gutted about it all. And he put the post out, not to stir up trouble, but so that people were aware and didn't keep asking me, we're so looking forward to seeing you in the World Cup.
That's, it's because the whoever's televising it had put out who their commentary team was. And obviously he was missing.
I think he put it just before. I think he actually put the post out just before they announced it, because he's had several people saying, we're really looking forward to seeing you. So he basically tried to damp things down. Just mad. Utterly mad. He used the voice of the under-20s at the moment. Mm-hmm. He's doing a really cracking job on that. And he's just a really good commentator. It just does. Given some of the other strange commentators that we've had of late, it just doesn't make sense.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. There you go.
Perhaps we ought to invite him on the pod. Invite him on the pod.
He's got his own pod, and now they're teaming up with the Scaz and the rugby, and it's like they're big pods.
Yeah, no, we won't then. Shall we now go to, where should we go next?
England under-20s.
England under-20s have won by a lot.
By a lot in the frozen. I'm going to say north, and I know our Scottish listeners are going to go, that's not north. It is the north of England, who were the host country.
Yes. Yeah.
Mark Smith and the team, well done. Some great social media, and well done to everybody in the England under-20 team. Mark Mapletoft is doing a fantastic job with the players. We're down to 2 now. Did you notice what Henry was up to this weekend?
No, I dread to think. What was Henry up to this weekend?
Because, of course, this is really going to hospitality at the Allianz Stadium. He was part of the hospitality team. I can kind of get Ferbs and Tom Wood and Courtney, but Henry? What the dickens? Anyway, we're down to 2. The lovely Ollie and the lovely Aidan, but the team rumbles on.
Didn't Johnny Wyman get called up?
Oh, he did, yes. Sorry. Liz is going to be after me. Yes.
No,
yes.
I'm sorry. We've watched that young man. His first training session with the seniors, if you recall.
And his first game with the seniors when he played against Sale, even though it was a friendly, and made absolutely sure that Mr. Dowson knew that he knew the words of the Shoe Army song. Yeah.
Cracking young man. So he got called up to the England under-20s.
I apologise, Liz. No, Liz will be after me. Yes, so well
quite
done.
rightly so.
Yes, I'll
quite rightly so.
Hang my head in shame. Anyway, well done, everybody, because the slam is still on, and they're playing. The great thing is they're playing some really good rugby. More of that shortly. Should we skip past Saturday and go to Sunday before we start?
Yeah.
I think Saturday's going to be a bit ranty.
Bit ranty, yeah. So Sunday, England Day with loads of Saints representation.
Loads of Saints.
6 of them? Was 6 of them?
6 of them.
Yeah. Yes. Some starting, some coming on as finishers, and everybody, it seemed, from what I've read. I've tried to watch it on Rugby Pass and catch up, but it seems to start partway through the first half.
The second half, which is just bonkers.
Yeah, very weird. I might have a look, see if they've done it right, put it right today.
It's worth seeing the first half. I think. I think it was a really good game where the conditions of the game got worse and worse and worse. The Irish suffered horrific injuries. They got through 3 fly halves. It's a bit like us now, 3 wingers in the Investec Champions Cup. They decided to go down the fly half route. But we looked accomplished. And we looked like we wanted to run the ball. We wanted to control. I mean, the set piece was great. Curtis was running around like a mad thing. He was
Curtis, really.
He was just being Curtis. I thought it would have been really nice to see Tarek, Curtis, and Luke Green.
Yeah.
It was great seeing Fergs even prowling up and down the touchline. The set piece looked good. The line-out looked good generally. The scrum was just on point, so Fergs would have been happy. It actually improved dramatically when Luke and Tarek came on, which was interesting. And the man of the... actually, no, there is one moment... I feel really sorry for him. Laura must have been absolutely bouncing, Laura and Rob Hendy, because George went the length of the field.
Yes.
They called it back for the teeniest of knock-ons. So, yes.
Yeah, that was...
It was supposedly a tackle, but I couldn't see it. Anyway, poor old George. But he scored it beautifully. Only it wasn't a tackle.
Yeah, but I was going to say, so lovely to see 6 Saints, and you think Mark Mapletoft's style of rugby suits having Saintsmen in the team anyway. I would say more of that later. She says, sort of.
But we have to mention one player, don't we?
Player of the match, the player of the match.
The match.
Tom, our very own Tom Lockett.
Tom Lockett.
Yeah.
Who was? He was just magnificent. It was, his control of the line out is, it was just on point. And his rampaging runs and, just all round brilliance. I mean, given that the lad started with a shoulder injury at the beginning of the season and was prowling around like a caged lion. Oh, here comes the tea, everybody. For those of you on Spotify, we ought to say sorry. We have had a lot of photos again, but it is worth watching on YouTube.
We have.
Yes, there's the tea, the musical tea.
Musical tea.
But
do you know what the music is on the musical tea mug?
I don't know what the music is. I can't read music. I used to be able to, but I can't anymore.
It's Für Elise.
No.
Which is Beethoven. And of course, my name is nearly Elizabeth. So hence my musical mug.
Your musical mug. Excellent. Excellent. Anyway.
Thank you, darling.
Tom was outstanding. I was purring throughout the game, which was a bit weird. But anyway, I just thought he was
that is odd. No, that's wrong.
He was just brilliant. And so Chenya's assessment of him a couple of weeks ago, he's absolutely spot on. The odd thing, though, and bit of a mystery, this one, I haven't actually seen a photograph, although I can remember him playing and running around and line out, and in my head I could probably imagine what the photos were. The only photo I've seen of him is one holding a bottle, which is his player of the match, Bollinger. Bit weird. There you
Very
go.
strange.
As I said last week, I don't do England games because I find England games incredibly... Well, I've never done one. I've done under 20s is as far as I'll go. And I love the under 20s. And I actually think the style of rugby that you get, under 18 and under 20, is just great fun. And it's really, really good fun to shoot. But the senior squads are just... Everybody's a bit pointy elbow and not very friendly. And
it's all a bit... Yeah.
All a bit. So...
up themselves.
Yeah, a bit up themselves. So, yes, hence why I don't do it. But, so... But congratulations, Tom. Well deserved. I actually think if we were to pick are you going to pick a ladies' Wot Pod player of the match? Because I have one in mind.
I think I probably know who you have in mind. Is it another Tom?
Yes.
Tom Pearson.
Because I can't choose Lockett, TP. TP was
having a ball. Having a ball.
Him and Jack Kerringham were just laying waste to Irishmen, and it was wonderful to watch. And it was effective, and it produced quick ball, and in horrific conditions. So, you know, the running rugby was really not going to happen yesterday because it got worse and worse and worse and worse. In the end, it did, but TP and was just outstanding. So he'd be my vote for Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match in England 8. So there, well done. But actually, they all played well.
Good. They all played well. And,
they all played well. Right, I suppose we've got to do it.
So, I've got a scenario here. You have one of the most exciting halfback combinations outside of DuPont and anybody else. So, do you build your game plan around them and quick ball and setting the number 10 free to flick the ball out to his mate on the wing or do whatever because he sees the whole of the game? Or do you get your scrum off to box kick at every available opportunity? Which do you think you do, Mrs. J, if you were a coach?
Well, if I were a coach, I wouldn't do that, but that's what happened. 69%
Again.
69% of the ball was kicked away.
What he was doing, it's like exactly what happened at the beginning of the World Cup, if you recall.
Oh yeah, we've gone back to the stodge. We've gone back to the stodge. Mitch was
being forced to go out there and not play his natural game.
But Finn was. What was Finn?
And Finn the same.
Finn was that, the recipe card is please Finn, put it into orbit. Now my worry, is that we've got to unpick this weird game plan in time for an East Midlands derby when they get back from England.
Yeah.
Because that's not how we play.
No. I'd quite like it unpicked before England play whoever is it Wales they're playing next? I'd quite like it unpicked.
Yeah, absolutely.
For them, really.
I would like us to go back to where we went to last season, when the lads basically took control of things and said we're going to play free-flowing rugby. I'd like to go back to that, please, because we've got the players. We know we've got the players, but we insist on playing this stodgy, horrible. And, when we did run the ball, what did we do? We scored.
Yeah.
Or we caused Scotland problems and they gave away a penalty. So,
we made them panic when we ran with the ball, as you say, that made the errors. And So just really, if you could possibly.
So the second thing, for those of you on the rantometer, we're up there today.
We are.
So the second thing on the list is kicking.
Yeah, come on.
So what is this tactic? Give Marcus the easy one so he doesn't get upset, and then we give the really difficult one to the new 10, who absolutely smashes it over the.
Although apparently Daly was thinking he was going to do that long distance.
Several of them were. I think Daly thought you'd have a go. Slade thought you'd have a go, and Finn put his foot down and went, "No, I'll do it." And well done, Finn, for standing up to the old.
I think the other person who has faith in Finn, because he in the France game was the one that brought on Finn's kicking tee, Kevin Sinfield, and said, "It's your kicking tee, crack on." And I have to say, if I were lining up a kick for glory with everybody watching me, I can't imagine anybody better to have at your side than Kevin Sinfield, to be honest. I just think that man radiates such I would say, goodness is the wrong word, but just so much solidity and such marvellous man. Anyway, but no, that kick that Finn landed was Finlandia. That's a good tune.
Right.
Sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah, absolutely amazing, and the fact that Johnny Wilkinson is now coming over all boy fandom over Finn is like flipping the coin, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Given that he's been Finn's mentor,
and boyhood hero,
and boyhood hero, and who had the most tackles in the game
of anybody?
Finn, 16.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah, his defence was just absolutely spot on.
And of course, and you've got Brian O'Driscoll as well, who said after the Munster game last season, he's your international fly half. Why are they messing around? He's your international fly, and so he's standing there going, "Well, I told them." Yeah.
Yes, just let him play now. Just let him play. We did have. Now you described it as something media tartery.
Oh, good Lord! Excessive media tartery.
Excessive media tartery.
Yeah. So Finn's lovely mum and dad, Jude and Andrew, who are really smashed. Yeah, I mean, I've been drinking with them in exotic places like Limerick and Paris.
Yeah,
highly entertaining, really good people. The media just can't seem to keep away from them. They're popping up on Look East. They've been interviewed on ITV. Anytime Finn gets the ball, where's mum and dad in the crowd? And actually, when he took that long,
unsurprisingly, before the kick was taken, so I nearly sent a message. I had typed a message. Go on, smile, or something along that. Because unsurprisingly, the two of them were concentrating really, really hard as the camera swung round. And I thought, no, I can't send that. That's rude. No, let's wait and see what happens. And so I changed the wording slightly and sent a message. And then, of course, doing her best Annie Underwood impression was Jude dancing when it went over.
Yeah.
So which I sent her a message saying, yeah, dancing will do. Dancing will do. So
that was my.
All of us have the same thought about Annie Underwood.
Those of us of a certain age will remember that when Rory Underwood first played for England, his mother was in, and I think it's because she was small and Malaysian,
Chinese Malaysian.
And
she always wore the same hat and coat.
Yeah.
So she was very formally dressed, and this very formally dressed woman just went yip crazy when either Rory or Tony scored a try. And it even got to the point that on Rugby Special, the halcyon days of Rugby Special, if they were playing for Leicester, we had to see Annie Underwood in the crowd. It became sort of part of any game featuring
the Underwoods.
You had to know where she was in the crowd. So, dude, watch out. You could find, the cameras are always on you.
I think it was unusual with the Underwoods that nobody had ever thought to find out their parents before. I don't think parents had ever featured before.
I think it was the first. I think because she was so effusive in her celebration.
She was so very un-Twickenham-like in her celebration.
And although formally dressed, yes. So congratulations to the Smith family yet again. The other one was Finn, of course, when they did the thing that we did against Saracens when I do believe Tamo and Lewis decided to wrap up somebody. Can't remember who it was. And basically held the ball up and ended the game. Yeah. We did the same. England did the same actually they drove them into touch as well, and it was the end of the game. And the roar from Finn, very Finn.
Yeah, it was actually very Braveheart.
Black paint. I bet Kev the Kitman was pleased he wasn't washing the. Mind you, they don't wash them, do they? They just get given them. Yeah, it was good to see the reaction from Finn. But anyway, a win's a win, as you said. It's a monkey off our backs. We've got the Calcutta Cup back, completely dense and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. Oh, hello. Have we lost you?
No, I'm here. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, good, because I've lost you. For some reason, my computer computer's just gone mental and put up every other Google window that I've got. Hang on, let's close you down. Let's close you down as well. Then we're back to where I should be, and I don't. That's right. Now
Saunders is playing with her.
I've not done anything.
I can't get to the buttons from this end, from Cambridgeshire, so it's not happening. Anyway, so I think I would say well done on the win, but please, can we up? That game plan is not going to beat every, as we keep doing this backwards and forwards business. Please, can we use the talent that we've got and play the way that we know the boys can play?
Yeah. It's just please do. That's just it, really. Just stop it.
Yes. So Towcester under. Are we done on England and?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think we've had enough.
Yeah.
Towcester under.
Towcester under 10s.
There's one thing we haven't talked about: Sam Warburton.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go on.
I don't like a 20-minute red card. I'm going to put it out there. And the reason I don't like a 20-minute red card is it's a thug's charter. Because, and it's been led by the media, and it's been led by the narrative that says when you get a red card, it ruins the game. Well, learn how to tackle then would be my answer. It is ridiculous, because what happened on Saturday to Wales should not have been allowed to happen. Gary Ringrose's tackle was reckless, and I think Nigel Owens on commentary even went as far as say he thought it was a straight red.
Red, he did.
Ringrose's got form. He's done it before. It's not like it's the first time and a one-off and never happened. He's got form. He's a bit like Mr. Farrell's tackling stuff. So he goes off. And initially it's a yellow card and goes off to the bunker, which is exactly what they're going to do because it speeds the game, and I get that. And then little Christoph comes back, Christoph Ridley, and says it's been reviewed and it's a 20-minute card. So what happens? All right, so it's either side of half-time, which is interesting as well, because it's basically 10 minutes, they have a break, and then it's 10 minutes. So they've had a bit of rest and recuperation, go again. And then comes Bundy Aki. And Bundy Aki plays like a man possessed.
Yeah.
So it's just not on. Wales were valiant on Saturday, and
they were.
Ireland should have been down to 14 men. It was, it's just a cheats charter. But the thing that really teed me off, because he repeated it several times over the weekend, was apparently last season's Gallagher Premiership final was ruined by Beno Obano's red card.
I thought back up to their game when he went off.
Yeah, I thought they played. And what you're talking about, Mr. Warburton, is utter crap.
Yeah.
It really, the 20-minute red card, bin it as far as I'm concerned. It's a media-led thing. You talk to most supporters, they're not baying for a 20-minute red card. They want, any sort of foul play gone. We've got to protect the players, and all this does is just the big teams, your South Africas, your All Blacks and your Islands, they're going to have a replacement for your Gary Ringrose sat on the bench roaring to go and comes hurtling back on. Not good, but certainly not good. Now the other thing, of course, that Mr. Warburton didn't mention was his own red card. His own red card in a World Cup semi-final. Funny that. Yes, sorry, I got that off my chest.
Right, where were we?
Going to Towcester under 10s from
Towcester under 10s
World Cup semi-final red card to Towcester under 10s. Obvious segue there.
You wouldn't find that on any other pod. This is what makes us unique. So, Towcester under 10s, yes, we do have a report that was filmed in my kitchen after Towcester under 10s. Yes, so here it is. Okay, so I'm here with Harry fresh from Towcester under 10s playing at Oney, where it was incredibly windy and quite cold. And how do you think it went today, Harry?
I Okay. We didn't win, but we played really well. And we got stuck in, and I definitely shouted a lot.
You shouted a lot.
Yeah.
Don't know where he gets that from, ladies and gentlemen. Must be some genetic throwback. So what did you enjoy most?
Probably when I got really involved with a tackle.
Good. I did see you getting involved with the tackle. I saw you get... Who were you modelling yourself on?
Alex Mitchell.
Alex Mitchell. Who's your favourite player?
Alex Mitchell.
There we go. That's it. So, yeah, only were a bigger, better drilled side and ran riot, really, didn't they? But you never gave up and you all played well as a team, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what did you really learn from today?
Even when it's hard, you still have to keep trying.
Absolutely. Well done. Thank you very much, Harry.
I tried to get tags and it was very windy, so it was very hard. But I did get 3, and also I scored 3 tries, and also James scored 3 tries.
And how big were the opposition?
And one of the oppositions were massive, and he almost pulled my pinky off.
So there you see, a very windswept granny, and yeah, it was very. So we played out at Oney, and it was very, very windswept. And I have to say, it was an interesting morning. The international man of mystery didn't want to comment, though he did 3 tries and got 5 tags. So
did 3 tries.
Good.
He's on fire.
Did 3 tries. I was watching the under 10s, and my daughter was watching the under 7s. She said watching them run, turn and face and run into the wind when they're that little was quite entertaining. It's because it was, the wind got up. It was very, very windy. Yeah, Oney were just running riot. They got 2 or 3 players on their side who, well, we're not sure really. There's something in the water that makes them mature early in Oney, I would suggest.
That's Bedfordshire for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Bedfordshire or is it Buckinghamshire?
No, they are just in Bedfordshire. It's an anomaly. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it should be. But anyway,
No.
so so the coaches for the Towcester under 10s did a fantastic job of keeping the Towcester under 10s, that just keeping them focused and working as a team, and their heads never went down. And it was quite, it was a bit like France and Italy. Really, it was all a bit sad, but they did really well. So
well done,
still,
everybody, for sticking with it.
And we're still smiling and enjoyed themselves regardless.
Well, and in some ways, I hope Harry didn't know the score, because that goes back to
nobody didn't.
Excellent, even better.
Yeah.
Yes,
nobody knows the score. So
brilliant.
It's good.
That's what it's about. If they're still smiling, excellent. Walking rugby. I had a report about you on walking rugby.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't tell you that on Friday, did I? Yes, had a chat with young Cullen. Oh, she's doing very well, Claire.
Yeah, I did. So I did half of walking rugby because I'd done foolishly, not expecting. I'd done some Morris dancing on Wednesday night, so I did half of walking rugby. I was actually quite wise because I was a bit achy on Friday. Yeah, so we got loads coming to walking rugby now. Thoroughly enjoyable.
But he says every time you go, he can see an improvement.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What, just in me or generally? Just everybody improves when I go.
Walking rugby. I don't.
I think I did at least one try. Actually,
you did a try. Very good.
I did a try. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Well done. Yeah. There you go. I've got my moles.
Yeah, there you go. So, excellent. So I think. That's just about where we are. Saint Supporters Club, what have we got to report? coach going down to Gloucester. There's still some spaces on that if you want to go. That should be quite a jolly coach, I think. Whatever happens, we may or may not have players on that. I don't know, because we just don't know it's one of those situation will be. We don't know. Yeah. But yes, so that's all. We're not doing a coach up to Sale because it's Friday night. The take up just would not make it worthwhile. And we don't do Exeter Newcastle because, again, too far, and it's not financially viable to do it. So yeah, that's it. So just the Gloucester away game. Yeah,
and then we have a really big game this weekend.
We do, yeah, really big game.
Quarter final of the Premiership Rugby Cup, where we can now call them Ealing Trailfinders.
The Ealing Trailfinders, not just Trailfinders. Yes,
Trailfinders women. We've got the Ealing Trailfinders coming up. Some old Saintsmen, very familiar, who will be there. I think one of their club captains is Ollie Newman, actually. If you remember Ollie from the academy, and of course the likes of Tom Collins and Reuben Bird-Tulloch. So I think that's going to be a really, really good game. They are top of the championship at the moment, but they're not actually trying to get into the Premiership. They are one of those that aren't, unlike Coventry, who are. So work that one out. But I think it's going to be a really, really good game.
Yeah,
and then what happens next depends on who plays what and
who plays what where. So we're either at home or away to Exeter if we win.
Yes, which you wisely worked out last week, and I got hopelessly wrong. Yes, so it's either a long way or at home.
Yeah. So we will just wait and see.
We'll just wait and see. So it'd be very interesting to see who Douse elects to play, because I think a lot of players have put their hands up during this time. I do wonder where we're going to get two scrum halves from. If Mr. Vyman is with, it might be okay, because is it a fallow week for the under-20s?
Well, wasn't the England Day just a one-off?
No, he wasn't in England Day. He was in the under-20s.
Oh, the under-20s. Yes, it must be a fallow week for the under-20s. We can call them back from the under-20s anyway.
Right.
Well, can we? We can for the Premiership. That's
why so hence my comment about, is there going to be cover for at 9? Oh. So that's going to be interesting. So a lot of players put their hands up for this one.
But it must be, surely it's a fallow week, is it, for the Six Nations coming up?
I think it is, isn't it?
I think so. So it will be for the under-20s as well. Have a quick look. I don't touch anything because my computer went wild when I just put my mug down. So God only knows if I touched it.
Yes, there is one thing we need to show something off the internet, don't we? For a little discussion I've been having. Where am I going? I'm going to sport. I'm going to trust the BBC website. Graham?
Oh, good Lord. Oh.
Yes, it's a rest week. It is a rest week. Okay. It's a rest week. So we could get Johnny back. And then who knows, because obviously we're not counting any chickens because we're really good at that. But it's going to be a really good game. After much shenanigans on the internet and debate, of course, it is 3:00 on Saturday. Yes, you do need to buy a ticket. I don't know whether, and frankly, I don't care whether it's on television.
On the telly,
I don't, whatever. And one of the games, maybe more than one, I don't know. Who knows? That's the excitement.
Who knows?
Actually, congratulations to Ben Lawrence. I think it was Emma Vassell. What a story she's got to tell. Who did the commentary on the YouTube feed on Friday. Well done, Ben.
Oh, all right.
Yes, very good. And Emma's story is is an amazing one, given what's happened.
Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely
incredible.
Yeah. Now, to end with, if you remember last week, we had the video of the cards, which continues to cause much mayhem. This week, I've been having a discussion with your mate Richard Moon and Nick Mullins on X, as it is now known, about club socks. So Richard wants the Barbarians to have club socks back, and I pointed out, well, they still do. They still do. But Nick is saying that he would like the England team, so this is the first 15, not the A or under-20s, to play one match a season where the players wear their club socks.
Was this prompted by England A listing the players' clubs? I thought that was a lovely touch, actually.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was a lovely touch. And yeah, it was. And Nick actually commented that he thought that was lovely. England should do more to make the join between the players' first club and the grassroots. Now, I did a bit of research, and it's not that hard. There you go. There's my research written on a post-it. If the 4 lads who started for England on Saturday were wearing their club socks, they would be wearing them as follows. Alex Mitchell would be wearing Lim RFC. Finn Smith would be wearing Shipston on Stour. I think that's how you say it, RFC.
Yeah.
Ollie Slightholme would, of course, be wearing Northampton Old Scouts. And Fremo would be wearing the socks of the rugby club where my grandparents used to live, Wyndham in Norfolk.
Oh.
I'm amazed Look East haven't done a feature on it.
I don't realise, because his name's not Youngs and he doesn't play for Leicester, so he's not realised.
Yes.
That,
So I responded as such to Mr. Mullins, but then I said, actually, if we did that and Ferbs were back in the team, then we would be able to show these 2 little gems from George's past.
Oh, bless him.
There is George. We think about 10 or 11 playing for Huntingdon Stags. He's a fly half. Eddie always thought he was a fly half. I
want to know what's happened to Ron Weasley in the background.
yes. Who's wearing a shirt that's 15 sizes too big. Yes. Yeah. There is Ron. And there is George in the background. Bless him. At a Land Rover. It must mean it's either under 11s or under 12s. But yeah, so I could dig out those 2 gems and put them out on the socials.
Love that.
I'd be delighted. Yes, I'm sure. I've never actually. I should do it. I'm sure I've got photos of the current squad playing in Saints community tournaments. I've just got to play because, of course, you don't know who's going to be the star from all those kids that you take photos of running around. Yeah. But anyway, so Nick, I'm absolutely with you. It would be fantastic if the England men's team, in fact, the Red Roses should do it as well.
Yeah,
because they have the same connection. So the men's and women's teams should both wear their club socks for one match every year.
Yeah, it'd be grand.
Grand. So. Anyway, it was a quieter week this week, but still in one sense for going to games, but still very busy with lots of internationals featuring Saintsmen and
lots of Saints involvement, and
soon to be Loughborough women heading out on the international trail. We wish everybody well, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Exactly. Indeed, you will.
Haloing?
I would imagine so. Yeah. Can't see why not. So excellent. Haloing and then greeting trail. You would have thought trail finders wouldn't need greeting because they'll be able to find things, won't they? Because they're trail finders.
Yeah, but they their horizons are, overseas. They're not,
Is that what
worried
it
about little shoe town up road. I don't think.
Not worried about where the toilets
I
are
don't think we're
and stuff.
Well, actually, I know Billing Aquadrome. I don't think we're a holiday destination that Trailfinders cover. I think their horizons are a little further afield. But it'd be great to see.
I just thought, got to start small before you can schlep out to New Zealand, find the toilets in Franklin's Gardens without asking a halo. That's all. Anyway, on that note, let's wind up. Episode
62 of the Ladies Wot Pod is done.
Done. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.